This is Speakers of Iceland. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Speakers of Iceland, episode 31. I am Lukile Bravestone, and I am joined by Orange Caramel. And that's about it. Today we're going to talk about the 3.5 main story. And a lot of technical issues happening at the Ether data center. Q&A at the end. Stay tuned for that. And there's also a lot of other stuff, like the Valentine's event and all that. We're going to get to that. 3.5 main story. Very short.
Yeah.
And something happened in that main story. I mean, spoiler alert, because we're going to talk about the 3.5 main story. So if you haven't done that yet, you might want to mute us for a while. We're going to talk about this. I can do this when we're done talking about the spoilers. This is our secret spoilers are over signal. A symbol. Okay. So, Papa Lymo. Something happens to Papa Lymo. We don't really know. I don't want to say he's dead, but
that's the question that I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Probably not. Right?
Will he die on 3.55? Do you think it'll happen the same that happened to the Sultana? Kind of.
Yeah, I think they're going to go that way. Like it didn't feel like he was gonna die there. I don't know. Maybe I'm in denial. But I mean, they didn't kill Nanamo, and they fucking made a CGI trailer with her dying in it. So I feel like they can easily backtrack here. Like, I don't feel like
would you make that face if you were drinking just a sleep poison?
No,
that's the question.
Well,
it's very weird.
They did say that it was like I can't remember all this, but it was apparently some sort. It was a poison, but it wasn't as potent. It didn't actually kill her. She went into a coma. Welcome to Speakers of Iceland. We're talking about patch 2.55. No,
I think she woke up eventually.
She just randomly woke up.
I think so. I think
I can't remember this. Let's not go there.
Said that she was going to wake up really soon.
Yeah, Twitch chat is saying that it was a dosage lowered by Lolorito, so it didn't kill her. I think that's true as well. That was like, it wasn't enough. And then a separate potion meant to keep her asleep. There we go. Okay, so that's 2.55 out of the way. But we're talking about Papa Lymo again, and Sloppy. Ilberd died as well. Ilberd is definitely dead.
Are you sure he's dead?
There is no doubt that Ilberd is dead. And he died.
Will he reincarnate?
What?
Will he reincarnate?
I don't think so. I think he looked pretty mangled there. I was actually surprised to see them go that like gory in a way. Like he seemed like when Rauban lost his arm, there was no blood. Like it was just like the arm popped off. But with Ilberd here, that was like blood and everything. So that was a bit of a shock. Now the big question is, what primal did they attempt to summon? And I mean, they do chant Ralger as they die, I believe. Or I think they were dead, and you could just like hear them echoing that, like they said
and
something.
All the refugees from Alamigo have tried to summon. How was the name? What was the name again? I can't even pronounce it.
Ralger.
Ralger. Okay. Yeah. All the Alamigan refugees. Is about it.
Yeah, because Ralger is the guardian, the guardian deity of Alamigo, so it makes sense. Yeah. But we have never seen that happen before. Like summoning one of the 12? That's a bit weird. I never thought that was going to happen. Like, not in that, like, as a primal. But I wonder, like, how that's going to look. Because I've always pictured the 12 as, like, human-looking. Or, like, human. Like, Hur-looking or Ellison-looking. Or, yeah, any of the races that we know of. Like, but I guess... I mean, I'm excited. Doom Train comes out. That would be fucking awesome, though.
Or the King.
Yeah, good King Moggle back. Good
But
King Moggle
Ilber
extreme. What?
I'm pretty sure Ilber does not represent the Alamican refugees. I think he's on his group with the other two guys, Laurentius and the Lalafell. How was it called?
Oh yeah,
that Lalafell.
Yeah, that Lalafell. Yeah.
I think they want another thing that the refugees don't want.
I think Ilbert legit wants Alamigo to be freed. That's for sure.
But for what purpose? I mean, why?
He wants. Well, why would you want your country to be free?
But he's a very bad guy.
Yuyuhase.
He will want personal interest on it.
What he was?
He would want personal interest.
Well, I mean, whatever his personal interest was, he's dead.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, whatever his intentions were, there were. I think there were four. I think he legit wanted Alamigo to be free. I think he legit thought he did the right thing, although he did some really shady shit, like for instance, cutting off fucking Rabon's arm.
He betrayed us.
Yeah. So also the of course the escalation now is gonna, like, we don't know what's gonna happen now, because a lot of shit happened at the end, because everyone is focusing on the summoning of the primal, but like the ramifications of what this resistance group did, like they posed as Eorzean Alliance soldiers, and they attacked a Garlean settlement. They attacked a wall. Are we going to see, like, I mean, I don't, this is just speculation, but I feel like the Garleans are going to respond. And I said this a couple of podcasts back. It would be really cool if the Garleans actually started an attack on the Eorzea, like full-on war. Although, I don't know. Like, we have to get into Alamigo somehow.
Yeah, we have to free Alamigo.
Yeah.
We have to do that ourselves.
Something has to trigger the Eorzean Alliance to actually help Alamigo get... Like, something's gonna happen here. And hopefully we'll see that. But the big question, of course, is... Papa Lymo, is he dead? Is he alive? I think he's alive. But I think he might be... He's probably in the ether again.
He casted the same spell Louis Roy did.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I just
realized that. Louis Roy was his mentor.
Louis Roy didn't actually die. He became a primal. He became the Phoenix.
Primal.
What if Papa Lymo becomes a fucking primal?
What if Hilbert was summoning Papa Lymo because he knew he will die?
That's like the most convoluted fucking plotline ever. Because he could see... No, I'm not even gonna try.
Okay, never mind, guys. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about the main story other than that. Like, there was like the cat chick that was introduced early on that they sort of hyped, and then she was like in the main story for like 2 minutes, and then we never saw her again. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna move on.
I really want 3.55 to be longer. That's all.
Oh, it's gonna be longer. Well, he did. Do you remember he said that they didn't want it to be as long as 2.55?
They didn't want long cutscenes in the anymore, because Joseph P found them boring. I think he didn't want to watch long cutscenes. That's all he said. I think.
Yeah.
That I don't agree with him. I really love the 2.55 long cutscenes.
I feel like when it's the end of an expansion, I feel like it's warranted to put in some long cutscenes. Like, I mean, it's okay to cut down on the cutscene length during like the regular content. That's fine. I don't care if you chop them up and put them. I'll watch them anyways. But at the end of an expansion, I sort of expect like a proper long ending cutscene.
Yeah, you have to set everything ready for 4.0.
Yeah,
because that's the last main story quest line for Heavensward. We have to, spend those 2-3 months, like prepare. Like we have to know everything.
Yeah. It's I hope and pray that we get longer cutscenes.
Yeah.
And I hope they have the actual good technical standard, like that too. We have to talk about that. Like the quality of the cutscene, the last cutscene with Papa Lymo and Sloppy. I keep forgetting his name. Gilbert. They were really good, like technically. Like I've always bashed on the cutscene system in 2.0 and 3.0 because it's very basic. Like they do an emote and then you have to wait for the emote to end. Then they start a new emote, and you've seen whenever they've done like a move, you've seen that move before, and it's like if you've ever done any emote, you've seen pretty much 50% of the cutscene. But that one looked really good, and I hope that that continues that trend, that they're not being so. I'm not going to say it. Lazy. When it comes to making cutscenes, they're not lazy. I guess sloppy. Sorry, I had to say that. Okay, so real quick, this is something that I didn't really plan to talk about, but I just wrote it down because it happened. The Ether data center has had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Not only Ether, a lot of other data centers as well has had trouble, but primarily from what I've heard, Ether was struggling a lot with downtime, and apparently it was like a blockage. Like someone was in the duty finder, perhaps, and withdrew. Was that what they did? Chat might correct me because
I can't remember.
The details are a bit fuzzy. But if you were queuing basically, and if you withdrew from the duty or didn't click commence in time, the server would just crash.
I remember a lot of Reddit posts about the Primal data center going down.
Yeah.
I
think it was the same issue, and a few days ago they released a new patch, and that should
an emergency patch, I think.
Yeah, and I think that fixed it. Oh, also before we move on completely, 3.55, the main story. I think I don't know if I mentioned it, but they put like a massive spoiler in the achievement title when you cleared the main story. Which was literally Papa Lymo's final witness.
And thankfully to one of our free company members, he told us to disable the titles for the other, characters in the game. So we kind of avoided that.
Yeah, that was
spoiler.
They also, of course, read it full of those warnings, and then eventually they released a statement. It was Koji Fox actually who wrote it, and he said that
it was an apology.
It was an apology, and that he had fucked up, and that they did patch it shortly after.
How can you not realize that is? I can't even think about it.
No. What? It's beyond me. That's a weird thing to slip through your fingers, especially for like if I mean Koji Fox is like the head of the localization team for North America, and I think like I probably would have like he's like the lore guy as well, so I don't know. We will never know, I guess. Okay, let's move on to the Valentine's Quest.
Oh yeah, my favorite content in the game.
Yeah, I know. I've never been a fan of the Valentine's Quest. No, not just the Valentine's Quest. Any of the seasonal events. You know that. I've never been.
Not even the Halloween event from last year?
Well, actually, that one was pretty good. That was pretty good. But I'm usually not that fan of those events. I like the items sometimes that you get, like the exclusive ones. But I've never really paid attention to the content that is in these, because they are seasonal events. They're usually nothing special. But this one, I have to say, was especially shit. It was especially shit. I have to say. Like, what? Okay, so the previous one we had was the fucking New Year's one, which was the same as the year before.
Yeah, and it was really bad too.
And I expected that, because...
But it was not bad. I mean, I would call it simple, not elaborated.
Mm-hmm.
Like
but
something we'll love. It's just...
But at least the
fun.
New Year's one was actual content. Although you only had to do it once. There was at least something there. There was a special fate. With this, you do one quest and you literally walk from the quest NPC, like on the amphitheater in Old Britannia. You just walk from the stage to the entrance and you get your remote. And that's all you need. Because the daily quests, they only give you the magic prism heart, whatever they're called.
It gives you the achievement too.
Yeah, and also an achievement, which gives you 0 achievement points.
I thought, well, maybe I can get all the other stuff in the daily quest, but it gives you the prismatic hearts, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah. That's it. That's all.
I'm not a big fan of events either, but I really enjoyed some of them. The first Starlight event with the trees. I don't know if that was the first one, maybe the second one, but that one was really cool. Mm-hmm. Also the Halloween event, the big ones, I have to say. But this one, I don't remember any other event worse than this. Do you?
No, I'm trying to think of...
It's the worst one we've ever had in this game.
Remember the Halloween event a few years back, where you had to get those cookies? You had to do like an event in Ul'dah, and it was a fate that was moving, and you had to... God, I had almost forgotten about it. Oh my god. Yeah, I remember that was awful.
We've had a few awful events, but not as awful as this one.
Can't quite remember what it was supposed to do, though. I think it was
just go from A to B.
Yeah.
And it's just 5 meters long.
Absolutely horrendous.
We've never had an event as awful as this one.
I mean, they didn't even like with the New Year's one. That's fine. They just took the previous one and just slapped it on this year. Mm-hmm. With this event, they didn't do anything. Like, they just made a fetch quest.
Not even a fate or a...
Yeah, that was really disappointing. But I think, to defend them here, it might just be because they're focused on Stormblood that they just went fuck it. No one likes the Valentine's quests anyway. And
as always, I'm going to say the bad things that I think. Well, no, I mean, we have to have both opinions because
so far we've only been on the bad side though. But okay, go ahead.
Well, but you said something on the good side, so I'm going to say the bad side one. That we are waiting for a patch that will come out the next month in March, mm-hmm. and we will have to wait another 3 months for the expansion. Mm-hmm. And they are giving us really bad content. I mean, between patches, not the actual patches, like the events. They have forgotten about the Final Fantasy XV event, and now they give us a really, really bad designed event about Valentine's Day. I don't know how to feel about this, but it's just very lazy. And we have to wait. We have to have something to do in between patches.
Well, we are getting the new diadem in the next patch.
I mean, between patches.
You mean
considering 3.5 and 3.55.
So what you're saying is that you expect the events to be full-fledged content that
not at least as good as the last Halloween event.
I see that. I would really appreciate it if.
And I'm pretty sure these events have been already made before they started focusing on Stormblood. I'm pretty sure they have planned all the 2017 events.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Final Fantasy XV event later, by the way. actually, we can do it now since we're doing it. Since we're talking about it, they did talk about the Final Fantasy 15 event a while back, but it seemed. Yeah, this is what we. Okay, wait. Before we do that, this is the thing in chat. We talked about this in the pre-show before we went on. I think it was 2 podcasts ago. There are 2 patches coming up. So correct me if I'm wrong, chat, because I can't really find the exact wording here, but 3.55 is one patch, and then the what's this patch called, by the way? I can't remember what the name of this. The Far Edge of Fate. And then the Far Edge of Fate Part 2 comes out in March.
No, we only have 3.5 and 3.55.
Well, let's wait for chat to catch up, because
I'm pretty sure about that.
I haven't done any research on this yet.
That. Well, yeah.
But anyway, let's...
Wait, what? No way.
Yeah, I have told you this before. I'm pretty sure there are 2 patches. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin. We do our prep work here.
But this is really messy even for us.
No, but he said it in a live letter. I'm
pretty sure they called. Sure. I'm pretty sure they called 3.55 like part 2.
They never did that, I believe. They just called it 3.55, and then they said the Far Edge of Fate Part 2. I think those are 2 different.
Well, if you're...
we're supposed to be the people telling... We're supposed to be the providers of information. But this is really confusing
even for us.
Yeah, like, it is. It is a bit confusing. But
they haven't written any like patch release date info about the...
But Yoshi P said that they wanted to do it differently from how they did Heavensward. They didn't want the wait to be so long as they did with Heavensward, which is why they split it into 2, I believe. 3.55 and the Far Edge of Fate Part 2.
Oh, by the way, if you guys want to send us a link, just remove the HTTP and the link. I mean, our bot doesn't allow you to post links in chat.
You can send them as private message, though.
Yeah.
You can send a private message to me or Orange. Orange is Fielke. Oh, shit.
Okay, let's read that.
Doesn't even fit the screen. This is a quote. Okay, I'm just going to say the quote. By the way, last time you divided the patch into 2 parts because it was too big in volume to include include into only 2.5. Why did you divide it into 2 parts this time? Yoshi P said it has nothing to do with big cliffhangers like the last one, but this time we intentionally divided it into 2 parts. The truth is, part 2 will come after 3.5 and 3.55. The 3rd season of the feast will end with 3.55. We will add the continuation of this animal weapon, etc., and after that, part 2 of the next patch will come. So there are 2 patches.
Part 2 of what?
Part 2 of 3.5. It's very confusing. But that's... Yeah. 3.55 is in February. They haven't
said anything about part 2.
Yeah, they have, but it's so far ahead in the future, they haven't started teasing it yet. All we've heard is 3.55.
Well, I guess you were right this time.
Yeah, actually I was. Okay, moving on.
You were right before this was, because this was very confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. That is very true. Okay, Valentine's event. Yeah, someone mentioned the Garo event. Okay, let's talk about the Garo event. Is it a little bit... Okay, Orange.
Can you consider it event? An event?
Yeah, that was what I'm supposed to ask you. I mean, it's...
It's just a collab, like they did with Yokai Watch, but not with the... how do I say? The content, the actual content.
There's like nothing there, like you have to know about it. Like there's nothing indicating that there's a Garo event going on. It doesn't even say in the message of the day when you log in. So I thought that this was going to be like a permanent thing, that this was going to be permanent gear, but apparently it's not.
What? Is it not?
No, it's going away eventually, but this is a long-term event as far as I understood. So,
really?
Yeah, it's really strange. So I'm very confused, but thankfully I've already gotten the gear that I need. I've spammed the shit out of Frontline and the Feast. So
and it's very. I already have all the Dragoon gear, but that's the only one I want.
the gear that I the gear itself looks really good, but the fucking which gear is the golden one? Because that that looks anime.
I can't remember.
But I really like the caster.
It's not monk or the tank. No, it's
tank. I
the
think.
Paladin.
Yeah,
is it the Paladin?
It's Paladin, I think. I really like the ranged gear though. I like that gear because it actually looks. It doesn't look that. I'm not that big of a fan of the hyper anime style they have on like the Paladin thing, but I like the Dragoon one. But yeah, the ranged one, the magic ranged, and the melee ranged. You can a new word. Okay. So, what do we think about the event? Like, have you farmed for it?
Yeah, I queued for how was it called? The PvP battlegrounds. Frontlines.
Yeah, Frontline. Yeah.
The daily roulette.
What do you think of Frontline, Orange?
Why are you making this to me? Like,
what do you think of the new Frontline, the Shatter, the
new Snow one?
Yeah.
I have to say, it's my least favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people don't understand what you have to do in that battleground. They just get fighting in the middle, even if there is a new ice thing spawned.
Yeah.
You tell them in chat and they don't read it. They don't realize that you have to go to those points. So I don't like it. I how was the first one called?
Oh God, Secure.
The one you have to go to the middle and.
I think it's called Secure. Borderland Ruins. Secure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the first one.
I like that one, and I never get it. Why is it? Is it deleted from the game?
Has it been deleted? It's still there, but it drops poetics.
Why? Well, first of all, I don't like PvP in this game. That's a personal opinion.
That's a very popular opinion.
Well, it's at least personal. The PvP battlegrounds are really not well designed, in my opinion. The Feast is fine. I really have fun in Feast. I like how they are managing the content in Feast, but the battlegrounds are really lazy and bad designed. Yeah,
especially the Shadow one.
Yeah, the Shadow one. I don't really like it.
No,
it's really, I don't know.
Yeah, the thing with Shatter is that it's more PvE than PvP, because you're supposed, like, if you just attack the ice things and you get like full score on that, you don't even need to kill anyone.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Skip. No. That's like, if you do that, just focus on the ice, you can win easily if the other ones are busy trying to kill themselves.
Your team even don't realize that you have to do that. They keep fighting each other, but I guess that's people, not the content.
I mean, that is PvP, so I understand the confusion there, because if this is the first time you do Shatter, you're like, okay, this is like a big, like almost open world PvP. Let's do this shit. And everyone is busy hitting ice things standing around. Like, I would be confused as fuck. Like, how is this PvP? But I don't know. It's I really like the, by the way, just the one that came after the Borderland Ruins Secure. What's that one called? The one with the tomoliths. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like where you have to capture those. That was at least a little bit more interesting.
I agree.
But Shatter is just lazy, man.
Yeah, it's lazy.
Yeah.
They just wanted new battlegrounds, but they weren't well designed.
Mm-hmm. Sadly.
And another thing that I was going to complain about PvP was that. Can I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, when you get like 2 tanks in a party and the rest are just DPS, the party management role system is not really good. Sometimes you get 5 healers in your team and the other one doesn't get any. But I'm pretty sure you can switch.
You can. That's sort of the point. I feel like,
now,
like you have like a minute to prepare.
Exactly, and now that's where I was going to complain about, because some people don't want to switch. They are just like, this comp is just fine. Let's just go. I just want the seals. I don't want to win. Why, people? You're queuing for PvP.
Some people even do it just for the tomes.
Exactly. They they are just AFK in the middle of the battleground, and it's just really annoying.
Yeah, they're just walking back and forth to prevent like being AFK kicked. Just walking back and forth. And if they like, I've seen people actually hide, because when you're doing like open world PvP, you know what I mean. Like when you're doing Frontlines, it's a pretty big map, and your party members might think that you're like somewhere else, like fighting a maybe say an ice thing. But in reality, you've just hidden far up in the map, just walking back and forth, so no one can vote kick you because they think you're actually doing something. I've seen a lot of people do that.
But I think people, including me, don't know how to do PvP properly, because I've done a lot of times as a healer to keep like 7, 8 guys hitting me, and I just heal myself for a long time. They use attune, and they keep attacking me. Like they can do a lot of stuff more useful than hitting me. And after I'm out of attune, I use my other flows again. I just keep healing, and they just waste a lot of time for one person. And the rest of my team, I hope and I guess, are doing more useful stuff.
Yeah. As a healer, that's like the nightmare scenario when everyone suddenly turns toward you and you have like...
As a scholar, you can use lustrate all the time. And when you run out of other flows, you can use attune.
Yeah.
And your pet keeps healing you. That's really...
That's true.
Yeah, that's a thing I
mean, that's
do
strategy,
very often,
though, I guess, but still.
But why would you do that? You're wasting a lot of time attacking only one person.
Desperately attacking someone in attunement. That's crazy. Like,
you
know that
like a lot of people. 8, 7, 6.
Because I think like it doesn't block like 100% of your damage. So I think that's where they're going at. Like
it's 90%.
Yeah.
Did you say?
No, and they doesn't block 100%, so it's 90%. Then.
No,
10% of damage will hit you.
So but still, it's like you're immune, so it's very dumb to keep attacking that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Square Enix should focus on making better battlegrounds instead of adding new PvP events. That's what I want in 4.0.
Well,
at least one more battleground and worth doing it. Like you really have fun.
Yeah, and I think with Stormblood, we might actually like, if you look at Alamigo right now, that's like literally a war. Like I feel like PvP can have like open world PvP could actually be a thing in Stormblood. Now Final Fantasy 14 doesn't actually. I still stick to my guns here. I still feel like Final Fantasy 14 or sorry PvP doesn't actually fit into Final Fantasy 14 at all. But I feel like the feast is fun. I feel like they've actually managed to fix that. And if they just added the fun that's in the feast and managed to translate that into Frontline somehow, would be good. That'd be great.
I really love how the community in Final Fantasy 14 tell like when WoW players want to switch to Final Fantasy 14 and they ask how is PvP in Final Fantasy 14. Most of them just say that it's not better than WoW, and that's true. I still play WoW, and I have to say that at least in PvP is much better than Final Fantasy 14. They have more variety, a lot of fun battlegrounds, and the arena system is just perfect. So I really like how the community is honest with the players who ask questions.
Totally.
That's
But, yeah, PvP is still has a ways to go in Final Fantasy 14, but it is getting better. Looking at the feast, it's
I agree. Yeah. Feast is fine for now.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that out of the way. Oh yeah, there's a feature that we were teased a while back. SoE or Slowy.
So I think it's SoE.
Is it? No, I think it's actually an L in there. Slowy, because she's supposed to be like the other Chloe. So I think that's why they added.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's the thing. They promised us something that was going to be like reputation based, and it had like glamour. It was like, what? Remember, like, I think when I say this now, people will remember. Like, oh yeah, fuck, whatever happened to that? It didn't show up in the patch notes this time. Didn't appear at all. Did we confirm that it was gone from the teaser website as well? Can't remember if we did that.
I can't confirm that.
Before we went into the show here, we did like a
yeah,
quick
I know what you're
brainstorming.
talking about, but
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I'm explaining to the viewers that I'm referencing. We did like a quick brainstorming, so. And that's when we realized that content is missing. And it's not... And I think we checked that it's not on the website. So I think that's something they've retracted. And maybe they've delayed it somehow.
Maybe they fucked it up and it was planned to release on 3.55, or maybe patch 2. I mean, the part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now that you say that it's 6th.
It's weird. Not that I really complain. Like, it was supposed to be like a crafter thing, like just like the Wanderer's Tales book, but just for crafters, and it would involve like an NPC reputation system. And I remember I was really curious about that, but then we never heard anything else about it, and now it's just gone. So I think maybe this might be like abandoned content somehow.
Unless... I really don't want to be abandoned content because I love dailies, and that is like...
yeah, you were really fired up because it would be dailies.
Like, somehow they managed to make me forget about it because I didn't even remember it until the last time you said it.
Yeah.
But I really want that in the game. It's something different.
Yeah, it is.
It's something that I think I can enjoy a lot.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, I was trying to discreetly open a web page just to see if I can find the website. But yeah, we don't know where that went. Something else we don't know where went.
What about it makes me think too about the squadrons. They I think they have forgotten about that feature. They aren't like teasing that with new things, new addictions, new like what happened to the NPCs that we could bring to dungeons and do content with them. What happened to that?
Well, there's still 3.55. I mean, there's still a lot of content that can be hidden in there. And I think,
hope so.
Yeah, I that would make sense to me. I don't know.
I love how that kind of content is my favorite kind, and the one that I don't like, Palace of the Dead PvP, they are focusing so hard on them. So I'm really pissed off.
Let's not dive into that. But talking about the squadrons again, they never specifically said that we would get these squadrons in dungeons during the Heavensward life cycle. Like they just added the squadron system, and it's not. We don't know whenever it's gonna.
Yeah.
I'm actually with chat here. I think perhaps 4.0 or a 4.x patch. Someone is also saying that it's coming in 3.5. Or I don't know if that's referencing the squadrons or Slowy, but we'll see. Okay, let's talk a little bit. This is going to be a little bit off topic. Actually, before we do the off topic, we have one more thing. The escape from Bahamut, or whatever it's called, the Bahamut escape room thing that they had in Japan. is now coming to the US. Yay? I have no idea what that is. Like, I tried to look for video of it, but I couldn't find anything. I just found some.
I know what a escape room is,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never gone to any. So
I would
a
guess
friend of
it's
mine
just
told me that
what.
it's fun,
Yeah.
but I don't really know.
I mean, it's basically just an escape room, and I think it's like themed, like Coil, and it said that you had 60 minutes. That's the time limit. In 60 minutes, the world will end, or some vague shit like that. I don't know what that is, but it's probably really cool. It's coming to the US. I can't remember the date even. It's called Trials of Bahamut, and it's coming 2017. It doesn't actually say when it's coming out. It's coming out this year. Assemble a party of heroes to solve puzzles and save the day in this live entertainment event. Does it have... yeah, it's gonna be out. It's coming summer 2017 in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Phoenix, Houston, Orlando, Chicago, and New York. So please look forward to that if you're near any of those locations. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit off topic. We're going to talk about the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary real quick. Final Fantasy 14 is... No, sorry, not Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 is turning 30. No, Final Fantasy turns 30 years old this year. And they're celebrating that with a... wine. They made a Final Fantasy themed wine.
Okay.
And cup noodles, and I don't know if there were different flavors, but at least they had different. Like, you could get all 15 Final Fantasy themed cups. Like, there was one cup for each Final Fantasy game. So that's definitely happening. Also, Yoshi P said that Final Fantasy XIV would be the first Final Fantasy titled game to be released during the celebration. So we know that Stormblood is coming out before, say, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which everyone is, of course, looking forward to. So
did you say 7? Oh, right.
yeah. But this does open a lot of things for Final Fantasy XIV, because what does this mean for 14? Does that mean we can get crossover events, like, for instance, the Final Fantasy 15 event that we still haven't heard anything about? Other than that, they wanted a crossover event for Final Fantasy 15.
And they say that it will be more than just costumes.
Yeah, they wanted it to be like the Lightning event, the Final Fantasy 13 event. And possibly, what if we get like a Final Fantasy VII crossover event?
I don't think it will be released this year.
Really?
They say that the footage shown on the E3 wasn't even finished yet.
But it is being released in like now we're really on shaky grounds, because this is not our territory. But it was supposed to be released like episodically. We know that Final Fantasy 12 is being re-released in HD.
But
so we could get a crossover there.
I get your point, but I don't think we're getting it this year. Not,
I mean,
pretty sure.
Because I think Final Fantasy VII is celebrating. I think. How old is Final Fantasy VII? Welcome to Speakers of Hydeland. We're doing our research live. Hold on, people. Let's see here.
20?
January the 31st. Yeah, 1997. So it's actually turning 20 years old this year. So that would make sense to release the first episode this year.
Yes, we'll see.
Like during the 30th anniversary of the title and the 17th. No, sorry.
They announced wine.
Anniversary.
What else do you want?
Yeah, that's all I needed. The wine and the cup noodles. That's fine.
Final Fantasy themed wine.
Okay, so I think that's it from what we wanted to cover. I think. Final Fantasy 30 is we're very professional today, if you haven't noticed. I just, like, yesterday I finished the Fallen Rise episode, and ever since, I have been so tired. Like, I had, like, because, okay, I'm going to tell everyone this about the Fallen Rise episode, it's why it's been delayed. It wasn't actually delayed. First of all, the release schedule for the Fallen Rise of Final Fantasy XIV was supposed to be monthly, and I accidentally posted the second episode of the Fallen Rise, because that one I had completed early, so I had sort of queued that one up for release in January, but I fucked it up and I accidentally published it. And so everyone sort of had the impression that the episodes were supposed to come out like bi-weekly, like every 2 weeks. So when I made the other episodes, I was like really stressed. So when I made this one, I was at my most stressed. Like I had so many Red Bulls. My pee smelled like Red Bull.
And you don't even like them.
I don't even like Red Bull, but I had to keep drinking them because I felt like I had to complete this. So that's why I'm taking a short break from the Fallen Rise. I'm starting on the new projects. For those that were wondering, the 2 other projects that I'm working on right now, they will be out. I'm not going to set a date yet because I'm not doing that again. I'm going to release it when it's ready, which could be in a few weeks, but it could also be like in a month. It sort of depends on how, like, I also have to live a life outside of this, so that's a thing that I have to do. So we'll see how much time I get. So yeah, that's but the first one that's going to be released is Remnants of a Realm, where we look at stuff that's still in Final Fantasy XIV, or at least was in 2.0. Like, there's one thing that I really want to talk about, and that is something a lot of people probably have forgotten about, but the belts. In Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, your belts were actually visible on you. So when you wore a belt, or you had a belt in your gear slot, that would be put around your waist, and it would be part of your outfit. And at the the alpha, or was it beta? I think it was actually until the second phase of the beta. That system was still in the game. They actually ported that over, so but they removed it eventually. So that's something I'm going to talk about, of course. I shouldn't talk about it here, because here I go. But yeah, also a lot of locations in 1.0 that are really interesting to look at from like a 1.0 perspective, and looking at how it looks in 2.0, because in 1.0, like the scenery in 1.0 is like really dull. And then when you go to 2.0, it looks like really grand. So that's like one of those things that are very fun to look at. So that's going to be the first one to release, the Remnants of a Realm. Then I'm going to start working on the Chronicles of a Realm, which is the main story thing. And I am considering, someone did mention that I should do it like all the way, like the entire main story, like from 1.x to 3.x, 3.55. We'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah, I see someone sent a very good question here from Fielke. I don't know who that is.
We have 2 questions.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one is from Akumu92. Hello, Mr. Bravestone. I want to play with you in game. Can I play with you?
Well, yes. I'm on Ragnarok, so that's where I am. You can play with me there. I'm Lukile Bravestone there as well. And and we're also on a free. Yeah, we have a free company. Like, a very confusing thing, by the way, about our free company is that, okay, there's a little bit of backstory about our podcast. We have a free company called Seekers of Hydaelyn, which was supposed to be a play on the expansion Seekers of Adolin from Final Fantasy XI. This podcast was supposed to be a free company podcast. It sounds really fucking weird, but that's what it was intended to be. So we just added a P. We made it speakers instead of seekers. So our free company is called Seekers of Hydaelyn. We're on Ragnarok if you're looking for somewhere to stay. So keep that in mind. Well, yeah, also we have like a Discord. Let's see if our bot actually works. It's exclamation Discord, I think.
Let me try. Exclamation what?
Discord. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Good job, Lukile.
Try exclamation podcast.
Okay.
Wow. I'm gonna check my papers. Okay, I know I said in like the previous episode that was the sloppiest episode we've ever done. This is the crowning achievement of our podcast right here. Okay, thank you to everyone for watching. We're gonna round off here. We'll be back next week. Hopefully a little bit better prepared. And I hope you enjoy. I'm trying to find OBS now because I fucking messed that up too. Yeah, we'll be back next Saturday. I'm actually gonna start streaming. You're gonna love this, Orange. Kingdom Hearts, Dream Drop Distance, starting either tomorrow or Monday, and it's gonna be like an ongoing series. So if you wanna look at some of that, I've never played Dream Drop Distance before, so it's gonna be a blind playthrough for me. That's actually the only Kingdom Hearts game that I have never played, and that was released for the HD 2.8 thing. So that's what I'm gonna play in the coming weeks. So look forward to that. Okay, time to go. I've been Lukile Bravestone, and I've been joined by Orange Caramel. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.